So yesterday we talked about the Lebanon is becoming slowly Gaza 2.0, and today let's talk about something that Al Jazeera has reported that Israel has bombed a civilian hospital in southern Lebanon, which is a war crime in international law. That during a war you cannot bomb the facilities like schools and hospital. But since Israel has been doing this for 2.5 years, it has become their habit of killing or the innocent, because that their main project, their main ambition, their goal is a greater Israel, and they can do anything that comes in that place, come in between the project and the humanity. They don't want to care about who is dying or why they are dying. What they want and what is their ambition is that by at any cost, by hook or crook, they want to grab the more land, more and more land, so that they can actually expand the empire of greater Israel. 9 members of single family were actually killed in a single strike today. Just today, Israel report, Al Jazeera reported. But did you see any hike or sort of a disturbance on the media or any criticism, any critical perspective, critical point of view? Nobody is seeing that because everyone is so busy on Iran, America, petrodollar, decline of American empire, rising factors of Chinese empire. This is a distraction, and Israel is taking a huge advantage out of this distraction because they believe, they know, they have mastered in art of distracting the public, at least public opinion in the media. While everyone is distracted, they always work on their ambition. That's the smartness of Jewish state Israel. Now, why are we talking discussing about this? Because I believe once the expansionism crosses from Lebanon, it will never stop to any region. Slowly and gradually, this will come down to the Asian border, and Asian border would be us as a Pakistan. And in 90s, Netanyahu has declared Pakistan as a security concern for the Israel. And why so? Because in contrary to Israeli power, the Israelis have only one challenge in the region, and that is a Pakistan, because Pakistan has a nuclear armed country, and no other country which is up against the Israel has that capacity of threatening them, their power. It's only one, and that's the Pakistan, because India is in their lap, because India does trade with them and they do a lot of business together. They also use the weapons for as a business. While there was Operation Sindoor, Pakistani army has disclosed that the Israeli drones were actually used in that strikes against Pakistan. So point is, like, Israelis have a clear goal, while everyone else is so confused about their goals and their perspective or their future about the states. Israel is not like that. They have clear goal that they want a greater Israel, and for that they don't care what is the loss, what sort of a loss will come in their way. They don't care about that. They only care, the only problem they have is how to achieve the goal, and for that they will go to any extent without any hesitation. If you listen to the J.N. Meir Shimer, he is one of the great critics of Israeli expansionism. He says even America has no authority to stop Israel. Guess what? America is a superpower, which people claim that Israel is the client state of America. They cannot stop them. Why? And now many people believe that it is an Epstein file factor, because a lot of politicians are somehow written into the paragraphs of Epstein book. So they are obliged to follow the master, and the master is Netanyahu. And for that reason, many politicians, even if they want to talk about something, they can't, because if you look into the files, every time you go in, you will find some powerful men like Bill Clinton, Bush, Trump, um, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. These are some heavyweight powers, and they are just not heavyweight powers. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of influence, they have a technology, and they can track you everywhere. Like, take the example of X. Netanyahu said, X is ours because Elon is our friend. Now, like, maybe they are their friend, they are just close allies. But to say that X is not a problem, X is in our control, X is before us, and we can actually manage the scope of media, that tells you a lot of things. Because Elon Musk earlier was bragging about the situation that these files should be public, and when files were public, he was actually exposing his mouth. He's saying, when is the party he was asking, when we have a party that is somehow you know uh, adventurous, or uh, you know you can say dirty parties, basically. So when such high profile powerful images, people are under the control of one state, a tiny state of 90 million people, it tells you 9 million, in fact. So I'm sorry, it's a 9 million. It tells you a lot, and it gives you a lot of substance into that problem, that they have a lot of influence on the American politics. And it's not only Americans. Even if you take the British, recently there was secretary, he was defenestrated by the Keir Starmer, because that guy was actually sharing the information, leaking, in fact leaking the information with the Israelis from the British government enclaves. So these are the problems. But coming back to the Lebanon 2.0 as a Gaza, is that it is just another excuse that they are fighting the Houthis. But same was like Hamas. They were fighting Hamas. We want to take out the Hamas. We want to obliterate the Hamas. Kill them, fight them. Take the threat out. But eventually, we saw Palestinians were the target of Israelis. They want to kill them, not the Hamas, because Hamas was propped and propped and given money by the Netanyahu. Netanyahu was in charge of giving billions of dollars to the Hamas through the Qataris. And then the same Netanyahu was blaming that Qatar is the sponsor terror regime on their neck. So see, this is a very delicate situation. But who understand that? Who is actually talking about that? Nobody as of now, because everyone is so distracted, everyone is so busy on one side, while the other side is very much busy in taking their ambition, which we can learn a lot, at least in terms of human behavior. That once you are decided of something, once you want to take something, once you want to do something in your life, just think about that and don't think about anything else. And that's what Israelis are doing. If they have decided that they want to take the Lebanon, they have made everyone busy on the stalking and scrolling. What is happening in Iran? How much is the oil prices in South Asia, Europe, America? What is the energy crisis? At the same time, they are very busy, and at the same time, they are just working on the project. Simply, there's no excuse, because they know that's what their goal is. That's what they want for the Jewish state. And believe it or not, in 5 to 10 years, you would see that Asian borders will be somehow cracked, and Asian borders will be somehow fragile, and the security concerns will raise like literally high. Because as of now, what we are seeing in Arab nations, and especially in Gulf and Persian Gulf, there's a lot of disturbance, and it is not just today. It has started since 2003 Iraq, and now in 20 years you see it is completely demolished. Who knows, in 15 years or 10 years we will have the same problems with us. So keep an eye on that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist for any reasons, but I believe what we are seeing or witnessing today, it has a lot of a substance and a lot of a consequential effort, which is missing as of today. But in 10 to 15 years we will have the same problem with us. If God forbid Iran is somehow lost its integrity in this war, and regime is somehow collapse, and same with the Lebanon and everyone else, Then there is us who will be fighting with them, and that fight could be like a hot dog because both states would be nuclear states. Let's see what happens. Thank you.